Hawkins. I'm here for energy, which can be on people, places, circumstances, and situations. Today, I want to talk about, the dichotomy of yes and no. In some circumstances, yes can be great, and in some circumstances, we are praying that it's a no, right? It's a no-go, right? So sometimes no is a yes in our personal circumstances, and a yes is a, oh, I can't, man, now I gotta commit. So today, I'm not. Good morning. I'm not pulling cards so much as I'm actually sharing with you some of my channel messages. And basically, I'm talking about the commitment issue, okay? Hey, Chestnut Checkers, you're going to love this one, okay? So we're just having a spiritual conversation, okay? So today, I was meditating, doing my thing, and I realized something. Sometimes we're so smart, we can build complexities to where we have literally built an imaginary illusion in our mind that we don't even realize is an illusion. Sometimes we put ourselves in situations where we're going to be told no, so that we can use rejection as an excuse to move forward, okay? That's a fear of commitment. And a lot of us have those fears of commitments in places we didn't realize. You will recognize this if you haven't been able to find yourself in a relationship, you haven't been able to build friendships, if you can't stick with a career long enough, if you keep trying to do something and you're quote unquote hitting a wall. A lot of that time is because deep down, subconsciously, we're putting ourselves in a position where it was shaky to start with. Okay, a lot of this is about consistency, and this came to me because I looked back and said, oh, I haven't been on YouTube. And I told y'all when I started, I don't come on here for work. I barely charge. It's definitely not my value, right, with any type of conversation, business included. But consistency over a long period of time turns into a commitment. And a lot of times a commitment is a stretch. Okay, it takes away our freedom, right? Sometimes we look at commitment as a shackle. So what I want to say today is use these conversations, use YouTube, use the algorithm, use, tarot to find and identify with what translates with your passion and your identity, because we all have to work. We didn't come here to just sit there and rot. So at least find something that you love to do consistently, because otherwise you're just going to be in this cycle of it didn't work, it didn't work, it didn't work, it never works. I found myself today realizing that a lot of people I worked with, I knew they were shaky when I started. I'm intuitive. I knew it. I knew that these people were not solid, but it gave me the perfect excuse, because when they failed, I could say, hey, I tried. But then you have these other people over here that they're more suitable. But man, it's going to be a commitment. If I start working with them, they're going to actually perform, and we're going to have a longer relationship. We're going to have more work to do. Okay? Yes can be just as hard as no. Okay? A yes can be as powerful as a no. Rejection is quick. It's a tap. It's like, oh, it hurts. Oh, it's over. But how often when you hear a yes, there's a next step after it? And some of us don't want to do the work. And a lot of us are not going to admit it. And I want to admit it first. Sometimes I don't want to do it. Most of the time, I don't want to do it. So I do what's easy. And for me, because I'm talented, because I have gifts, my easy looks hard to a lot of other people. So I'm like, hey, they'll never figure me out. But I had to have a real come into Jesus moment with myself. We had an Aries eclipse here. So I had to actually look and say, hey, good morning, Dasha. What am I actually... You know what I mean? You guys ever did something and it was a fluke and people clapped you up, so you just let them think what they wanted to think? That is, good morning. That is a resemblance to being an imposter. And that is also something that I feel like, we can all do. You ever did a little something for someone? Money is numbers, and numbers never end. It takes money to be happy. Your search for happiness will never end. Rasta. Good morning. Money. I've had a lot of money. Money gets you tools, and tools can become handy. But it all goes back to that same principle. Am I doing what I want to do? Good morning. Am I doing what I love to do? I love to talk. If I could get paid to talk all day, that's what I would do. But I have other skill sets that people are demanding, like real estate, like business plans. And I don't feel like doing that. Darren just asked, do I believe in God? And I feel like, Darren, if that's a conversation, why don't you have a platform? I want to encourage you, Darren, to go out there today and be more committed, because that's what I'm talking about. It's easy for you to come on here and slide to a stranger and ask them a question, expecting rebellion, expecting some type of confrontation, get kicked out the chat and go somewhere else and ask them. But are you looking for people who are seeking you so that you can actually have a project, actually have work to do? Darren, you asked me, do I believe in God? It's a tarot channel. I do, but you're expecting me to say no. You're expecting me to debate with you. What does my yes mean to you? What kind of work are you committed to putting in? That's what I'm talking about. And I was doing it too, Darren. I'm asking questions, knowing the answer just to say I asked. I don't want to do that anymore. And I don't want you to do that. Because if you truly believe in God and you're truly looking for people who do, I think there's a better place for you. But it's going to require a stretch. It's going to be harder than asking that question, getting kicked out of a chat, and going to the next person. It's going to require, if someone says yes, what do you have available? Darren and archetypes like Darren, you can put it in the chat because I am here to share with you. Thank you. I believe in God. I believe in everything that I'm doing. I know that I'm not God. So I want to share that with you. If you have some outlet for people, do the work. Put the call to action down there and ask people and get somebody that you can work with. Don't wait for that quick no, that quick rejection, that quick confrontation so that you have that excuse to move on. Go ahead and have the conversation. I ain't pulling cards today because I want to have a conversation. Because even with me pulling the cards, I tell y'all all the time, I'm using the energy to provoke you to do something in real life. But if it ends, when the video ends, I ain't doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing. And I'm not giving you a way to track and measure either. No problem. Thank you, Matt. I'm not giving you a way to track and measure. If we come on here and we post videos and we ask you to like, share, and subscribe so that we can be monetized, that's a job and that is using. But if I come on here and I give you a platform to give you freedom, a call to action to be yourself and do the work at your own pace, I have not got that step yet. So I'm going to actually take my channel down for a second. Thank you, Dasha. I'm going to take my personals down for a second because in my mind, in my character, I don't deserve to have personals because I don't have a call to action for y'all. You talk to me, you have a conversation, there's no measurement, there's no tracking. I get a slap on the wrist to say I did something for somebody, and you get a slap on the wrist to say you tried to help yourself. Neither one of us really committed to anything. We were interested, we were curious. I tried, you tried, yay. No, we need to do some real work. I need to do it, and you need to do it. On this day, I love you more. So proud of you and glad I'm here today. Thank you, Chestnut Checkers. Shout out to my moderators. I have that in my description because, again, we're building a community, but we need a measurement. We need a tracking system. So I'm stepping into that more. And with that, it's going to be less people, less of a community, less like, share, and subscribes because people are not looking for work. They're looking for excuses. And I'm not any better if I keep posting, enabling that type of behavior. It's like an addiction. I keep posting, you keep watching, nobody's doing nothing. So I'm gonna fix that, okay? Give me a chance, give me a moment to think about that and what that looks like. Thank you. Yes, Dose, I am a businesswoman. Bye, Dasha. So I'm gonna do that and then we'll move forward, okay? If you accidentally clicked on this video, because I know that the algorithm has all spiritual things mixed in, that's another challenge for you to do your work. Just because someone doesn't subscribe to the exact same way of worship doesn't mean that anything is, thank you, Dasha, doesn't mean that people are necessarily evil. Maybe they're different. Maybe they haven't got to that stage where you're at yet. But again, we have to track and measure and stop just doing stuff. And I'm admitting it first. I post videos, people get a reading, they cry, and then they go back to the script. And I'm not there anymore. I'm not checking on them. I'm not following up. I'm not giving them something next. They're not asking. But I have to be honest to myself, and this is what that looks like. So life is a rhythm. Yes, yes. I put it in the description too. Thank you, Dose. Welcome. Life is a rhythm of growth, and it's a yes and no. Yes is more of those notes where they kind of stretch out a little bit, and no is kind of those taps. No is kind of that la 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 la, right? Yes is kind of that tune that we sing, that hum that stretches a little bit more. Both of them create a rhythm for us, you know what I mean? So I have a fear of commitment. I'm Kiara. And yes, I could be a lot more successful, but I have to say there's the opportunities that I knew were going to be a yes, the ones that were solid, the ones that were stable. I kind of made sure I wasn't there for those. I kind of made sure I didn't show up. Thank you, Malcolm. Because I knew if I said yes, I was going to have to do work and I was going to have to be more committed. And maybe I wanted the freedom. So I say yes to the stuff that I know is kind of shaky in case it falls through. I'm like, woo. It's like when you commit to a shift at work and then you get to go home early. You didn't want to stay anyway. And that's something I had to admit to myself, except for I'm servicing people in spirituality, in business, and in real estate. They're home. I need to really care. And I need to be more sincere about that. I care more than most, hands down. Anybody will tell you that. But that's not my best. It just because it's better than you don't mean it's better. It's not my best. And I have to look in the mirror and say that. I know that I could do better by people. I know I'm doing more than above average. More than above average. I hear myself. But it's still not my best. And I want to measure myself based on the integrity of God and not society. Because society tells me I do enough. A lot of you guys have told me I do enough. But I can do more and I can do better. Which means that we can do more and we can be better. So let me get some tools in place because I don't feel comfortable consciously sitting down having these conversations knowing I haven't given you a tool. What? Go look this up. Go research it. You're not going to do that. You're looking for an excuse. I need to push harder. Sometimes we need an extra push. Thank you, Dose. So if I push and you fall down and roll over and run away, now that's on you. But if you push back, I want to be here for. That's where we are with that. I love you all. I'm going to make sure I'm gonna still do my readings. I'm not saying that one way or another is bad. However, you got to break in there. Once you open up in whatever way that is, some people are activated by darkness. Some people are motivated by toxicity. But God will find you one way or another. If you were born in China, if you were born under a rock, if you were born in a cave, we know the stories of people literally being born in basements, kidnapped. You know what I mean? But they're still found. I just want to make sure that I am assisting in that and not just tapping on the wrist. And I want to say this again, and I mean this. Be mindful of what you're taking in from me, from other people, from your friends, from your family, from the news, because all help is not good help. And you need to look at the actions behind it, not just the intentions. Intentions are like potential. I know what you mean, but what did you say? I know what you mean, but what did you do? Because I want y'all to realize you showing up, helping somebody get monetized, feeds them. What are they feeding you? YouTube wants us to feed you distraction, so you stay on the platform. So you rot in front of a TV. So you're not living because you're staring at a screen. I don't believe in that. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to use this as a platform to give you something to do every day. I have other channels that I love that do that. Kind of give you homework, kind of give you a tool. Instead of just watch me, just look at me. That's another reason I don't like posting crazy. Because then I'm asking you to commit to staring at your phone all day. So I'm gonna try to restructure my channel and try to restructure my message. And I don't care if it grows. Because I know that the ones who need it will find it. And I know whenever anyone finds it, they'll strike gold. But I'm not confident. Right now, I feel like y'all striking silver. I can give you more. And I will give you more. But it's a commitment. And it's a stretch. Which means I got to get off of here and I got to go work. And I have to think about you. And I have to keep you in my mind, keep you in my prayers, keep you in my vision board when we're not here, whoever you are, and those who may come across the channel later. And that's a heavy toll. That's a big bag to pick up and put on my back. But I want to do it. Or I don't want to do this at all. Because I'm either going to show up fake or I got to go do the right thing, right? What's the difference between believing and feeling? Action. You keep going because you're a strong woman. Thank you so much. The difference between believing and feeling is the action behind it. When you believe something, you're going to actually risk it. When you feel something, you still might swim in those emotions. You might get stuck in those emotions. But belief brings inspiration. Well, motivation. Feelings bring inspiration. When you're motivated, it's an action taken. When you're inspired, it's just a thought. It's just a thought provoking. It just changes your thought process. But when you're motivated, you're moving. When you believe, you're motivated, you're up. When you're feeling, you're inspired, you're still thinking about it. There we go. So I love you all. Again, I'm not pulling cards today. I'm not saying I don't pull cards. I'm not shifting from pulling cards. I'm just saying that even for me, I keep saying be mindful of what you take in, be mindful of the messages. And I myself want to make sure I'm not being a hypocrite, and I want to make sure I'm being authentic to that for whoever comes across. Because 1 or 2 lies is still more than I'm responsible for, than I was born responsible for, right? I got 2 kids. But when I decide to sit up here and call myself anything, an instructor, a coach, a guide, a whatever, I am committing to catering and loving and being responsible. And at this point, if I was running some type of institution, running some type of business, I'm doing it subpar and I'm doing it half. You might not know it, I do, and I want to be accountable today, and I'm challenging you to be accountable as well. Talk in the comments, share your information, make it anonymous. You know what I mean? Like the things that other people are saying that you want to talk about, because guess what? Otherwise, you're giving us free power to just sit here and make content that you don't even need. I want to be more instructional than entertaining, because instruction you can take and you can pass on to your children. Entertainment, I mean, it depends on who we're talking to. It's socially related. It may be funny today. You might be crying tomorrow about it. I want to be instructional. I want to leave you something. When I die, my YouTube channel is still up here. I want it to still be making a difference. Not just, ooh, I used to watch her back in the day. I was listening to Earl Nightingale today. He's dead. Napoleon Hill's dead. But I'm still listening to them. And I believe in what they're saying. I'm not inspired. I'm motivated. I'm up. I'm doing it. I'm teaching my children. And I just realized today that I have the capacity to be just as big as a model, and I'm not doing that. Because it's going to require a little bit more consistency over time, which is a commitment. So I need y'all to make commitments, and I'm going to have to make them too, because we're going to have to do this together. Leaders need people to follow them. And people need to pick good leaders to follow. It's a two-way street. I don't think I understand that. I keep saying that, but I don't think I'm being heard, okay? I'll be back. I'll be back with messages. But again, give me a second, because I want to restructure this in a way where we're actually doing something in life. You know, if you stop, I have readers, spiritual coaches I've been in touch with for 10 years, because they gave me something to do that changed me, made me stronger, made me better, made me a better asset to society. So I still reference them. I still send them business. I'm still grateful for them. And I'm also still modeling after them, because they were good examples of healing. And then you got people that you just, oh, that was so funny. And then you change, you go through something, you wake up and you say, they ain't funny no more. I don't like it no more. I don't want to be that, okay? I don't necessarily need my first grade teacher anymore. But I still remember my first grade teacher. There's still some characteristics of my first grade teacher I love. My 7th grade teacher is no longer living, but I still love my 7th grade teacher. They're still with us. When they put something, when they embed something good in you, it stays with you. You're changing people, and if they don't want to listen, they're losing. Because you're trying to help. And I want to make sure that I'm not trying to help, that I am helping. I want to make sure I'm solid. So that requires accountability, okay? So I need y'all to help me, help you, help me, okay? I love y'all. I'll be back with messages, a new structure, even if it's just like a pro tip or exercise or some form of homework that I'll put in the descriptions going forward, or I'll attach to a series. And until we meet again, keep growing. Mwah.